But when Undav scored on 86 minutes, then there was a procession of Arsenal fans leaving the stadium, leaving the Emirates.
Yep.
Was it poor from them to start a mass exodus from the stadiums before the end? Because there's quite a lot of time added on.
No, was it no more poorer than Martin's explanation of why the Arsenal fans should turn out a poor performance?
I'm saying that I think that, look,
fans are the same.
It goes hand in hand.
Fans are the same.
You have to give the fans something to cheer about, don't you? So, Jim, and Arsenal yesterday weren't quite at it. The fight wasn't there. Yeah, just a little bit flat. And I think it was
so by that logic,
the fans sensed it a little bit.
So by that logic, then you'll have no issue with the stands vacating the stadium at the end of the game.
Well, I'd rather not see that. Of course, you want the fans to stay there, but it's not like we haven't seen it before at Arsenal. Over the years, even in the Highbury days, people leave early to get away.
But it's relatable, isn't it? In terms of what they saw was they're entitled, irrespective, because the league hadn't gone. The league was still available. They should be taking this. A team of winners should be taking this, making Manchester win this. Man City win this title, making them take it to the very last minute. That's the pride that you should have as a professional footballer. That's the pride that you talked to me about as a professional footballer that embodies the state of a winning mentality. The fact they go onto a pitch in a game that they still needed to win to keep pushing Man City to the very last minute. Make Man City win it at the last game if that's what it takes. Make Man City win it with 2 games to go or 1 game to go. Don't fold now. And so with that in mind, it smacks of a lack of professionalism, irrespective of human beings and human nature. That's the coach, that's the players, that's the pride that they play for. So the question is, should the Arsenal fans have left at the end of the game?
What do you think, Simon? Should they?
They pays their money, that takes their choice.
True.
It's no different than the critical observation that Martin made of Everton fans. Everton fans vacated at the end of the game because they had enough.
But I think it's poor. I think it's poor of the fans to walk away while the players are still on the pitch.
Why?
Attempting to get over the line.
But they're not attempting. By the very same, but their levels are low. So their levels at the
But most are late comebacks this season.
By Martin's explanation, I agreed. By Martin's explanation,
I play for both clubs, and the Evertoners never go, and that's why I came for them, their fans, and I asked for solidarity, which I still do. Still got an important game at home at the end of the season. Yeah.
So out of the blue,
the Arsenal situation, the way it is, everyone leaves that ground to try and get away from Highbury. People just go. They go because
they need to try and get away from.
Well, because
Highbury?
You can't get away from it. So people are just like, I'm off on my way.
They wouldn't be doing
even when we're winning things, people leave there early with the traffic and the tube situation. People do it in central London to go.
Not to the way. The framework of this is that it was a mass exodus.
Of course, it was more than normal,
and there was a mass exodus. And Everton fans, if we are suggesting during their period they've never vacated the stadium because they've stood there for the last 2 years, watching dire football, vilifying their board of directors. So I think there's a point where it does become incumbent, because you don't like all this, where it comes upon the incumbent upon the players to do their job first. And if the fans don't want to watch it because the players aren't doing their job, then they should be, to some extent, slightly immune from criticism.
Yeah, but for 86 minutes, Arsenal were only 1-0 down. So if we break it down and we look at there was a mistake made for the first goal by the new centre, Cuvier. For some reason, doesn't stay on his feet.
Most
his boot comes off.
His
boot comes off. Both my boots come off. I'm on my feet for that.
Undav scored a second in 86 minutes.
Yeah,
then there was an
exodus.
exodus.
A back pass mistake by Trossard. Bit of pressure.
But I'm
on
asking you,
then
what
the
about
third one?
You did come for the Everton fans the other day. You slaughtered them for leaving
No.
early.
I asked them to get behind the team.
So shouldn't the Arsenal fans have waited yesterday?
Never mind this. I said that. I would have preferred them to have stayed.
You went to the stadium for a reason, to watch your team win. They didn't win, but shouldn't you stay?
I think it's different circumstances. Everton is becoming toxic. There was difficult. People were talking about walkouts, and then the team sitting at the bottom of the table. Forget all of those issues about who owns the club. Get behind the team. That's a different situation. Arsenal have fallen short. And the fans, you could say the fans turned their back and went.
Let me tell you, the
and there might not be any difference in your mind
in terms of the number of callers who at this stage are trying to get through. I'm just going to take one at random. Lee's a big Arsenal fan. Lee, good morning. You're joining us. What's your take on what you saw yesterday and the fact that so many Arsenal fans, Lee, left after the second Brighton goal?
Yeah, it was poor, Jim, weren't it? Very, very poor yesterday. Very poor. I think that Man City game before had just killed everyone, didn't it, at the club?
Yeah.
So Lee, did you feel then in the stadium? Because I just want to butt in on Jim's asking a lot of questions. I just want to get involved on Jim's show. But did you feel going into the stadium? Was it kind of like, oh, it's over now? Reality check. Man City are definitely going to win.
I think that's what happened yesterday. I mean, for me, Martin, it was over anyway. About 2 weeks ago, the title race was over. for me anyway. But I just thought the players code, it was just the last word. It was just that defeat, like what Everton yesterday. It just killed everyone, didn't it? But Martin, just a quick one, yeah. I just want to say to you, because you're obviously a massive big Arteta fan, aren't you?
I am a fan, yes.
You are a fan. Next season, surely, if he does not win a trophy, you've got to start, like, there's questions on that manager. He's had a good season. Agree with that.
Yeah, but I think it's about building, isn't it? That's kind of, okay, he'll know the pressure that exists. If he doesn't win a trophy next year, then the pressure comes on board. If he doesn't win the first 3 games of the season, there's pressure. So immediately, he needs to build on what they've achieved so far this season. They haven't been successful enough to win a trophy. But as I say, I think they're 18 points or so on target for more than last season. They're into the Champions League. They're the only team that's really put a fight up against Man City, who are probably the best team in Europe right now. So I think there's lots of positives. But yes, if he doesn't win in the early games in the season next year, he's under pressure.
Is it a successful season, Martin?
I think it has been an successful season, Jim. You've gone out of the FA Cup to Man City, who, look at the quality of them. You've gone out of the League Cup to Brighton. They're not, they've had a credible season, going to make it into Europe. But you put all their eggs in one basket.
Lots of fans getting in touch, Martin. I have to say, I don't know if this is an Arsenal fan. If you leave your seat before the final whistle, you don't deserve the seat. A real fan should take that seat. Real fans share the highs and the lows with the players. It's an interesting take on that. I want to hear from more of you this morning on that subject. Arsenal fans leaving early yesterday after the season, well, certainly the run in the Premier League. Did the players deserve that? They're out in the pitch still trying to do their best, although they were on the receiving end of a very good Brighton side. 03717 223344. It's 10:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.